Hey, welcome back. So we're going to try something a little bit more complicated. We've got a switch and we know how to record its input. We've worked on adding some debouncing, but now we're going to try and play with our outputs a bit. We're actually going to use this, which is a 7-segment display. You may be familiar with this sort of thing from clock radios. Each of these lines is a separate LED. So this really is 8 LEDs in one for each of the bars, and then one for the decimal point. We're actually going to just use 7 of these, and we're going to wire this up into our circuit to replace the LED we were using. So we're going to jump across to fritzing, and what you'll see is we've got our 7-segment display and our 220 ohm resistor. What we've already got set up is the same as before. We have our switch, one side connected to positive, the other side connected to pin 2. And then we have a 10K resistor going to ground, working as a pull down resistor. When you get your 7-segment display, you'll notice it's got 10 pins, 5 along the top, 5 along the bottom. The middle one on each side is ground. It's a common cathode display. And so I'm going to drop this in somewhere there. The first thing we need to do is we need to connect our common cathode, our middle pin, to ground, and I'm just using the resistor to do that. So because I can't adjust the spacings very easily, I have just moved it across, but you can see I've got ground, the middle pin, connected to ground. We're now simply going to connect up all of these pins to the pins 3 through 10. And I'm going to connect them in a specific order. So starting to the right of this resistor, we have segment A. You're going to need 10 wires in total to make this work. Segment A. The one next to it is segment B. Stay still. The bottom right hand corner is the decimal point, which we're not going to use. And then we're going to take segment C. So we start here, we work our way around, we miss this corner, we go 1, 2, 3, and then we start again in the middle and work our way out. Now there are some labels on here, but I know that they're not right. For the ones that you've got, we have A, B, decimal point, C, D, E, F, and G. I'll make sure this is on the course site so you can see it. And we've literally connected into pins 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So now all we need to do is connect that up in reality. So jumping across to the actual board, here is our board again, our 7-segment display. We're using the decimal point to find the bottom right hand corner, and I'm going to push that into the board in columns 15 through 19. We then first of all need our 220 ohm resistor, red, black, which goes from column 17 across to where our ground is in column 12. this circuit is going to use up most, if not all, of your wires. So we're next going to go from column 18 to pin 3. Column 19 on the upper side goes to pin 4. We're not going to do the bottom right corner, which is column 19. We're going to go to 18. That goes into pin 5. Skip 1 because that's ground. 16 goes all the way across the top. It's getting very cluttered now. 15 goes to 7, and then the top half, which is really quite cluttered to get into here, 16 goes to 8, 15 goes to 9. And you can hardly see now, but we've got our display in there with lots of wires connected up. And we've still got access to our push button here. Our pull down resistor is still in place, and we have our common cathode resistor to protect the 7-segment display. Now, with all this wiring, you might be forgiven to think that the programming is going to be awkward, and it would be if we were going to do it all by hand, but fortunately we're going to use libraries. So build your circuit, and I will see you with the Arduino IDE, and we'll actually program this up.